Now we're going to look at how we can translate different phrases into inequalities, watching out for those keywords, and there's some new keywords as well. So when we looked at this for equations, anytime we saw that word is, like here I see 8 is, we would think 8 equals. However, we've got some new things we have to watch out for when we're talking about inequalities. If you take that word is and combine that with some comparing words, it actually is telling us we're going to have an inequality. So this is not just it's is no more than. So those are my comparing words, which means it's not going to be an equal sign. It's instead going to be an inequality. So 8 is no more than. So that means it can be less than, it just can't be more than. So it can be less than. It can't be more than, but that does mean it can be equal to. So we got to try to problem solve through what these words mean. So 8 is no more than. So it could be that number, or it could be smaller or less than that number. So that takes care of the is no more than. And then twice a number looks like 2 times a number. The quotient, remember quotient is the answer to a division problem, so I know I'm going to be dividing. And then the very 2 next things, I'm dividing a number, and it tells us to use x, number x, and 5. So those are the 2 things I'm dividing. A number x and 5. Remember, fraction bar is another way to say divide. Here's that word is again, but it's not by itself. It's with comparing words. Is at least. It has to be at least 50. That means 50 is the smallest it could be, so it could be equal to. If it can't be any smaller than that, it would have to be bigger than that. So greater than or equal to 50. And one way to think about this is like in this next one, a roller coaster. So let's say you have to be at least 50 inches. That means you can be 50 inches or more than that. So that's how we know it's greater than. And then let's look at the next one. The minimum height to ride a roller coaster is 52. So now here's that word is by itself. The comparing word was actually way over here, the minimum height. So we're going to take our x. There's a height we have to be. The minimum height. So I can be 52, but that's the smallest. So I can think about it this way. I can think about 52 is the smallest, so I want the arrow to point towards the 52. Or if 52 is the smallest, I could be 52 or 53 or 54 or 55. So greater than 52. And on the last one, sum, that's an answer to an addition problem. So I'm going to be adding a number and 7. It doesn't tell me what number to use. I'm going to choose to use x again. So I'm going to add a number and 7. Here's that is, but it's with the comparing, is fewer than. Fewer than means less than 12. It doesn't say fewer than or equal to, just fewer than. So that means it can't be 12. It has to be strictly less than 12. So you have to be really careful when you're looking at these types of words. Make sure we're looking for that is and then what comparing words. If there's comparing words, we're going to have an inequality rather than an equal sign. And if you're not sure if you should put less than or greater than, think about that in context and try some numbers in your head and which numbers make sense, the bigger numbers or the smaller numbers.